Mrs. Davies had always been the most demanding teacher at Northwood Middle School. Her classroom was a fortress of order, perfectly aligned desks, silent work periods, and assignments that required microscopic attention to detail. I'd been in her class for 4 months and had learned the hard way that any deviation from her expectations would result in public humiliation. "For your final research project," Mrs. Davies announced, tapping her ruler against the whiteboard, "you will create a comprehensive paper on the history of mathematics. It must be exactly 20 pages, double-spaced, with Times New Roman font, 1-inch margins, and include at least 30 credible sources. Anything less than perfect will result in an automatic failing grade." She scanned the room with a critical eye. "I expect nothing but excellence." As the days passed, Mrs. Davies added more requirements. "Your bibliography must be color-coded by source type," she declared one morning. "And your footnotes must follow the Chicago Manual of Style exactly. No exceptions." By the end of the week, she had added, "You must submit your paper in a 3-ring binder with tab dividers for each chapter. Each page must be numbered in the bottom right corner with Roman numerals. And you must include a table of contents that corresponds exactly to your page numbers." That's when it hit me. If Mrs. Davies wanted perfection, I would give her perfection, exactly as requested. I spent the next 2 weeks following every rule to the letter. I color-coded my bibliography by source type blue for books, green for journals, red for websites. I formatted every footnote according to the Chicago Manual of Style. I created tab dividers for each chapter. I numbered every page with Roman numerals in the bottom right corner. And I created a table of contents that matched the page numbers exactly. On the due date, I arrived early and placed my paper on Mrs. Davies' desk. It was exactly 20 pages, double-spaced, with Times New Roman font and 1-inch margins. The 3-ring binder was color-coded, with perfectly aligned tabs. The table of contents matched the page numbers exactly. Mrs. Davies looked at it, then at me, and nodded approvingly. "Finally," she said, "someone who understands the importance of following instructions." The next day, I saw Mrs. Davies struggling with my paper. She had to use a magnifying glass to read the color-coded footnotes. She kept flipping back and forth between the table of contents and the pages, checking that everything matched perfectly. By lunchtime, she'd only managed to grade 3 pages. I watched her from across the room, a small smile playing on my lips. She had wanted perfection, and she got it, so perfect that even she couldn't handle it without a magnifying glass and extra hours of work. A week later, Mrs. Davies called me after class. "Alex," she said, her voice tired, "I need to talk about your paper." I braced myself for criticism. Instead, she surprised me. "I've been teaching for 25 years, and yours is the most perfectly executed paper I've ever received, but it took me 3 times longer to grade than any other." She sighed. "I realized that my requirements were unreasonable. From now on, I'm going to focus on the quality of your research and ideas, not just formatting." She smiled, this time genuinely. "You taught me something important, Alex. Sometimes, the most rebellious thing you can do is follow the rules exactly as written."